Hello, I'm Giovanna Freni. My work involves experimental archaeology with a specialty in metals. A few years ago, Roland Particooper asked me if I was interested in going to an event in northern Cyprus. I had no idea what I was getting into, but the Vounous Symposium was an amazing and sometimes exhausting experience. Despite setbacks during the lockdown, the symposium and its public festival continue to grow. Today, I will talk about the background of the project and the plans for the future. In 1929, the Swedish Cyprus expedition excavated a site at the village of Aya Irini on the northern coast of Cyprus. This was part of a multi-year excavation project in northern Cyprus that ran from 1927 to 1931. Of the 2,000 objects excavated, over three-quarters of the artifacts that were recovered were sent to museums in Stockholm, Philadelphia, and London. This loss of heritage created a cultural vacuum that has been felt to the present day. In 2014, Ralph Arsenal spearheaded an ambitious project in the village of Aya Irini. He assembled a team of 34 ceramic artists to recreate the Archaic Age sculptures and the art of Aya Irini that were excavated in 1929. Using clay and materials from the same sources as were used by the people of the Archaic Age of the region, they made replicas of the effigy statues and set up a permanent exhibit in front of the municipal building near the ancient temple. The project not only returned the material cultural heritage of the region to Aya Irini, but it also became the beginning of a larger project that has grown to encompass traditional arts, cultural heritage, and experimental archaeology. After the completion of the project in Aya Irini, Ralph Arsenal and his team saw the need for an ongoing project combining art, archaeology, and experimental archaeology to explore the local craft technology of the Bronze Age. This vision has evolved into the annual Vounous Symposium, where artists, researchers, and archaeologists come together to explore craft work and to conduct experiments incorporating ancient techniques. A site was found and permission given to hold the symposium next to the necropolis of Vounous, a Bronze Age cemetery near Çatalköy in the Kyrenia district of North Cyprus. At the first symposium in 2017, 80 artists and craftspeople assembled to study and recreate Vounous pottery. As with the project in Aya Irini, these were made using materials from the same sources that were in use in the Bronze Age. Experiments were conducted in order to learn the origins of polychrome firing and recreating objects with oxidized ceramic firing. The symposium began with firing pottery in an updraft kiln based on kilns excavated from Bronze Age sites in Cyprus. After firing, the ceramic work was put on display and featured as part of the opening ceremonies, which also included costume reenactors and a torchlight procession. The ceremony was well attended by the public and by government officials, including the mayor of Çatalköy and the president of North Cyprus, both of whom have put their support behind the project. The symposium ran for 2 weeks and included activities for the public that included archery, craft workshops, concerts, and an introduction to archaeology for young people. Many of the artists are professional ceramic artists who learn to adapt their style to that of the unique abstract style of the Bronze Age Cypriot potters. Participants created everything from monumental 2-meter tall effigy statues to playful whistles that imitated bird songs, working in small huts made of cane and reeds that were arranged around the site. The symposium also includes lectures by renowned researchers on ancient ceramic firing technology, different forms of kilns, and the chemistry of terra sigillata. The second symposium, held in September 2018, included bronze casting using local materials to produce clay and stone molds, crucibles, and furnaces. Copper ore was sourced from ancient copper mines in order to smelt local ore. Experiments were conducted using different smelting techniques. In 2022, a set of pot bellows were created based on one excavated at the Bronze Age site of Ancome near Famagusta. In addition to metals, there have been experiments in creating faience by crushing quartz into a powder using stone tools, making an alkali from olive wood ashes, and using malachite ore as a colorant. Public engagement is at the core of the project. Students from regional high schools and universities are paired with artists and archaeologists in order to learn more about craft technology, regional heritage, and archaeology. The opening and closing ceremonies are attended by local politicians and the media. More broadly, the symposium is featured in the local and regional press and television news reports. Videos of the symposium are circulating on YouTube and social media. The objects made at the symposia are not only displayed at recurring events, but are also exhibited at the Visitor Center at the castle in Girna. There have also been special exhibitions at the Selimiye Mosque in Nicosia. In this way, the symposium not only provides a venue for experimental archaeology and artists, but also gives visitors new insights into history and a heightened sense of appreciation for the objects they see in museums. The symposia and festivals are successful, meeting the goals for engagement and education about archaeology and the rich heritage of the island. The Vunu Symposium has created a community of artists, archaeologists, and researchers who interact with the public and explore ancient crafts and replicate ancient technology. The ceramic figurines and small tableaux, such as the Vunus bowl, reveal intimate details of social life and religious practices, and often display a sense of humor. Recreating these figures not only recreates the object, but is also an important element in teaching the cultural history through the medium of craft. The project was never intended to stop at this point. The ultimate goal of the symposium is to create a permanent open-air museum where research, lectures, and seminars can be held throughout the year. The planned area will have several reconstructed Bronze Age adobe buildings to house workshops, teaching spaces, and living quarters for teachers. Plans of ancient workshop sites, such as at Ancome, were examined to understand the architectural features. Details such as the placement of windows for ambient lighting, airflow, which is necessary for drying pottery, and wind direction, which is a consideration in metalworking, are all taken into consideration. There are also plans to include more diverse crafts such as textiles, cooking, glass, and faience making, and other activities that would have been a part of Bronze Age life. The proposed open-air museum would include artists' residencies, master classes, and crafts workshops, but would also be a resource for continuing research into ancient craft techniques and materials. Initial construction was delayed by the pandemic. However, the directors are reviewing construction materials and have engaged the resources of architects and students from Eastern Mediterranean University in the design and construction of the buildings. Experimental archaeology would be a major component of the project. In conclusion, despite the island's loss of antiquities to collectors and museums throughout the world, the people of northern Cyprus and visitors will now be able to see the material culture of ancient Cyprus within the context of its original landscape. I'd like to thank Ralph Arsenal, Zeka Majar, and the other organizers of the Venus Symposium, as well as the municipality of Çatalköy. I'd also like to thank the organizers of XARC and EAC 13 and Roland Parda Cooper. Thank you.